Penny, penny, penny. I said that 3 times for good luck, in hopes this video gets at least 500k views. That is my ritual for today. I am weird. I hope you are weird too. That is the only way we can truly connect. By the way, have you ever left your house and locked the door, then proceeded to walk about 5 meters, only to be suddenly hit in your beautiful face by the question of whether or not you actually did lock the door? Now you're going back, like a weirdo, to check the door, and guess what? It's locked. So you turn around, like a weirdo. But then your mind, because it's such an a-hole, says, did I really lock the door? Mate, you just watched yourself lock the door. Like, what other evidence do you want? But hey, you go back to check, weirdo. Or maybe you have one of those weird little rituals you do before work, where you put your keys in the same pocket. It has to be in that pocket, no matter what. I know people who check their phones, wallets, and door handles 3 times. Not 4, not 5, not twice or once, but exactly 3 times. 3 is the magic number. Why is 3 the magic number? We will never know. But somebody decided that it is the magic number. But if they don't check it 3 times, then something feels slightly wrong. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Because you, beautiful humans, are absolutely ridiculous creatures when it comes to rituals. I am also somewhat of a human myself. My ritual is to hit the lock button on my car keys 3 times for some odd reason. Anyhow, enough about me. We basically invent our own tiny ceremonies. Like, here, why don't you think about your morning? The first thing you do is wake up. Well, no, Ezra. Obviously, they wake up. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, what can they do when they are asleep? Subscribe to your channel, comment, like, and share? Hell no, idiot. Why would you even say that? Shut up, mind. Let me complete my sentence, you doofus. Anyway, sorry about that. Yes, well, if you were to think about your morning, then you would first wake up. Then after that, you check your phone, go to the toilet, have a shower, make some coffee, get dressed, grab your keys, wallet, phone, and then leave, right? Now, imagine someone walks into your house and says, "Why do you do all of that in exactly that order?" You'd probably say, "I don't know, that's just how I do it," with your cute, goofy face. Exactly. That is what I am getting at, not your cute, goofy face. We've all got little routines that we've somehow turned into law. Yet there is no government department saying, "Right, Dave, wallet goes in the left pocket, don't mess this up." We just, develop these things. And sometimes they are completely ludicrous. Like, you might know a few people who have lucky clothes, lucky numbers. Mine is 8, by the way, if anybody cares. You might know somebody who would not walk under ladders because they think it brings bad luck. My mom does that. She wouldn't walk under ladders because she thought it would bring bad luck. You also might get a few folks who knock on wood when they hear bad news, or people who have to touch the same object before doing something important. And you know what? Athletes. Athletes are especially good at this, or bad. You can literally Google their rituals and you would be amazed. Absolutely gobsmacked. Like, you might find a footballer who puts their left sock on first, then their right sock, then tie one boot, then the other, then touch the grass, which I think a few Redditors and Discord users can learn from. You chronically online people. Touch some grass, man. Anyway, then they might look at the sky, then breathe 3 times. And if you were to witness this, then you might start to think, mate, you're playing football, all right? Not defusing a nuclear bomb. But for them, it feels important. And there's actually a reason our brains like this stuff. And the reason is that your brain loves patterns. You see, dear viewer with beautiful eyes, your brain is basically a pattern detecting machine. It wants things to make sense. One thing that won't make sense is why you are not commenting that Ezra is a cutie in the comment section. Anyway, if you do something again and again, and then something good happens, your brain starts connecting them. It's really that simple. Look, here is an example. Imagine you wear the same pair of socks every time you have a good day at work. Then maybe there comes a day where you think, when I wear this pair of socks, I have a good day. So then one morning you put on different socks and suddenly you are thinking, I don't know about this. But, weirdo, nothing has changed. They are socks, right? But your brain has created a connection. And once your brain creates a connection, it can become very stubborn. You know what else is stubborn? You, because you haven't subscribed yet. Now, that's where superstition comes from. Look, here is another example, because I know you like examples. So, look, please close your eyes because they need to rest right now. But I want to tire your brain out. So I need you to imagine this. Ready? I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. I love you. Sorry. Imagine you have an important interview. But before leaving for the interview, you touch the door 3 times. And then after that, the interview goes amazingly well. Now your brain says in its cute voice, interesting. So then you have a next interview and you're going to touch the door 3 times and voila, another good result. Now you've got a system. You're not consciously thinking, I believe the door possesses supernatural powers, but somewhere in the back of your mind, 3 taps is going to get you good things. Anyway, one day you forget to touch the door because you might have ADHD. I don't know why you forget, but you forget, okay? So you get to the interview and then you realize, oh, Ezra, I didn't tap the door and I can't do anything about that. Now you're nervous, not because the door has cursed you. That would be so messed up if it did. Imagine being cursed by a door. In the name of wood, I curse you. But you become nervous because you've broken the ritual. And suddenly you are thinking about the ritual instead of the interview. Anyway, rituals can actually calm us down. And this is probably the most interesting part. You see, maybe rituals aren't stupid because they can actually make us feel more prepared, right? Because life is uncertain to us, right? You don't know what's going to happen when you go to work. Maybe Margaret goes upstairs to grab something and falls through the roof on your desk and causes your coffee to spill all over your keyboard, which causes it to type, piss off, I quit the Matrix and this 9 to 5 rodeo of yours, automatically and send it to your boss. Who knows? So maybe you should wear those lucky socks. You just don't know how your day is going to go, and you don't know whether you are going to have a brilliant day. Or maybe Dave from management is going to walk over and say, did you comment about your ritual under this video from Ezra? And suddenly your soul leaves your body because you did not. But you can control your little routine, right? With your coffee at 9 a.m. sharp, with your key in the same pocket as you always carry them, by putting on your right shoe first, by playing the same playlist to work, by following the same route to home from the high street. It all creates a tiny pocket of predictability and your brain goes, right, we've done this before, we are good. Obviously, there is the weird things, because sometimes rituals don't even have an obvious purpose. Like when you might tap something 3 times or touch your pocket, maybe you check something, then check it again and again. I understand double checking, but checking again and again and again and again, even after it is confirmed, you should start your own cult. Actually, don't do that. Never take advice from me. I never take advice from me. Anyway, after all the checking, the tapping, the breathing 3 times, maybe you're thinking, why am I doing this? Well, dear viewer, with the most beautiful smile, you might crack the screen. This is when it gets interesting psychologically, because sometimes the important thing isn't the action, but it's the feeling you are trying to achieve. Maybe you're trying to feel certain or safe, maybe you're trying to feel ready, or maybe you're trying to feel that something is properly finished. The ritual becomes a little button you press in your brain. Okay, yes, here we go, and we are done, weirdos. But there's a line, right? There's a difference between I like doing this and I feel like I have to do this. If you don't do your little routine and you're slightly annoyed, then that is probably just a quirky habit. Like if you think, oh well, and carry on, then that is no big deal. But if you actually feel that something terrible might happen unless you perform the ritual, or you become extremely distressed when you can't do it, then that's a different situation. You might want to seek professional help, because it is not healthy to live with such a feeling that consumes you throughout your daily life. The behavior might look the same from the outside, but internally within you, it's a completely different experience. If you enjoyed this, why don't you consider subscribing? If you do not, you will have 20 years of bad luck. And what sort of bad luck will you have? Well, you will never know how Dave, a 30-year-old man, once went to you and said that.